What's up, fishers and fishettes? This is Eric over at Fish Poker, bringing you one more video of this fish playing some shitty poker. For this game, we go all the way down to Lawndale, California to my buddy Jay's house, who just happens to have the most awesomest man cave I have ever played in. Right off the bat, this guy has some really cool stuff outside. He has a traffic signal. He has, as soon as you walk into his place, you got the Budweiser frogs greeting you. You remember those? The ones that say, Budweiser. If you're old enough to remember, then you're pretty damn old, because I remember and I'm pretty damn old. So he has this 1920s cash register that is in immaculate condition. It's the one that he uses to keep all the money in, all the buy-ins, all the rebuys, all the add-ons, all that kind of fun stuff. He also has this 1930s slot machine that does absolutely nothing but take my freaking money, because I'm a damn fish and I'm an idiot and I fall for stuff like that. So
there you go. Nope.
It clicked like I should have won something. Now, my buddy Jay is a really big sports guy, and he has a whole bunch of signed memorabilia up on his walls. He has a whole bunch of artwork on his walls. Not just any kind of art. These things are legit artwork. It's so freaking awesome. Aside from all that, he has a lot of antique stuff. One of my favorite things that he has is his guns. Now, I'm not talking about these babies. I'm talking about real freaking guns. These are Winchester guns that are from the 1800s, 1900s, and these things are just freaking awesome, well-made guns. And, well, that's enough about this douchebag. Let's go ahead and get to that poker. So we get this game started, and right off the bat, we are completely card dead. We're picking up nothing but garbage, but then I remember Daniel's wise words that said, you can't just sit around and wait for a hand, or something like that. Anyways, we look down at King 8 offsuit, and the only good thing about this hand is that we're in position. Not only are we in position, but we are in position against the table filled with limpers. It gets back around to me, and I go ahead and bump it up to 250, which might not seem like a lot, but the blinds are still 25.50. That's a 5x raise. Apparently, a lot of our players don't even care about that, because we get the small blind to call, the big blind to call, the low jack to call, and the cutoff to call, and we are 5 ways to a flop. The flop is King 8 ace. Not only is that a great flop for us, but our opponent on the small blind goes ahead and donk bets out 500. Our opponent on the big blind goes ahead and calls, our low jack calls, our cutoff calls, and it comes back around to me, and I'm not gonna go ahead and slow play this. I go ahead and bump it up to 2,500. Our opponent on the small blind folds, but our opponent on the big blind decides to jam. He goes all in for like another 4,000 chips on top of that, and everybody else folds except me, of course. I go ahead and make the call, and he shows over an ace. He breaks on the turn and he breaks on the river, and we go ahead and get a good double up plus a bounty. We are feeling great. So the last time I raised, I got zero respect from the table. Apparently a 5x raise is not gonna cut it. So when I go ahead and get dealt pocket tens in the cutoff, I go ahead and bump it up to 1,000. 1,000 chips. Blinds are still 25.50. That makes it a 20x raise. That should eliminate every stupid player on the table. But no, the small blind calls, the big blind calls, the low jack calls, the high jack also calls, and we are 5 ways to a flop. The flop is ace 9 deuce. Everybody goes on and checks, and when it comes back around to me, I go ahead and put in a continuation bet of 2,000. Now, this continuation bet is a little different than all my other continuation bets, because now I have a general understanding of hand ranges. Daniel Negreanu's course really emphasizes and drills it on that you shouldn't just play your hand, but you should play your entire range. And either way, I'm still learning this, I'm still working on it, and in this situation it worked. It seems like this flop hit my range more than my opponent's, and when I bet, it worked. I picked up 100 big blinds, which is great because the blinds are still 25.50, and well, we are stacking. For this next hand, I go ahead and get dealt ace king offsuit in the under the gun +2. Our under the gun player limps in, and our opponent on the under the gun +1 goes ahead and fires off 900. Now, I don't know if this guy's been paying attention to know that 900 is not going to tickle anyone's pickle, and everybody's going to go ahead and call and laugh at that raise. But anyway, he makes it 900, and I'm not going to go ahead and just call this because I'm positive everybody else would go ahead and call. So a raise and a re-raise should send the message to the rest of the table that we should not be messed with. Right? Wrong. I re-raise it to 3,000, and our opponent in the low jack goes ahead and calls. Our opponent in the high jack calls, and our original aggressor goes on and puts in the remainder chips, and we are 4 ways to a flop. The flop is Queen 8 Jack. All of them of clubs, and our original aggressor goes on and fires off a bet of 7,000. 7,000 into a little bit over 12,000. That makes it a little bit over half pot, and well, I'm holding the king of clubs. That's a second nut flush draw, and I have a gutter to a Broadway to go along with it. So I go on and make the call, and both the low jack and the cutoff fold, and we are heads up to a turn. The turn is a 10. I go ahead and hit my Broadway, and our opponent goes on and checks. That's pretty funny to me because I could have sworn that the previous street he bet 7,000, and the previous street before that he called a 3,000 re-raise, which he had raised previously before that. And now he's checking. What is he afraid of? So I start breaking down this hand in my head, and well, he raised pre-flop, so he should have pocket aces, pocket kings, pocket queens, pocket 10s, 9s, 8s, 7s, 6s. He could have a whole bunch of ace king offsuits, ace queen offsuits, ace jack, ace 10, ace 9, ace 8, ace 7 offsuits, some ace queen suited, queen jack, queen 10s. Anyway, this is what this chart looks like, and he's in that ballpark, and so am I because I re-raised him. So we're both on this flop. We're both all over this board. But now he checks. Like that's such a weird move for him to check after being so aggressive. Anyways, I have the king of clubs, there's the queen out there, there's the jack out there, and this is highly unlikely that he's doing this with the 10, so my only concern is that he might have the ace. The ace of clubs, that's the only reason why I thought he might have checked, and well, if he's on a draw, I'm gonna make it expensive. I push all in, that puts him in for about another 15,000 chips or so, and of course he calls, and let's see what happens.
Sure it is, man.
He's going for it. Wow.
You
Flip him.
ace king, right? Yeah, I knew it.
Wow.
I knew it, man. I knew you had the ace king.
He called.
All right. Oh my gosh.
Is that club?
Did
you get that? Damn!
Oh my gosh.
Motherfucker, ace king, I knew that shit.
Fuck poker, man. Well, I ended up losing 40% of my stack. I don't know why I do this to myself. This is such a stupid game. And one of the things Daniel really emphasizes on his masterclass is to take advantage of your opponent's mistakes. And one of those mistakes is limping in. He says that you should avoid limping in at all costs. It's never a good idea to limp. So when I go ahead and I look down at ace 4 offsuit under the gun, I go ahead and I do the exact opposite. I go ahead and I limp in because poker's fucking stupid, because nobody ever does whatever's supposed to be done in poker. Everybody's a fucking fish. And I'm not sure if I can use the word fuck in YouTube, but I don't care. I'm gonna go ahead and limp in. What the hell does Daniel know anyway? Our opponent to the left goes ahead and calls, and our opponent in middle position calls. Small blind calls, big blind calls, and we are now 5 ways to a flop. The flop is 7-7 ace. I'm first to act and I hit top pair, and even though I have a crappy kicker, that doesn't seem to stop me. I go ahead and fire off 700. Our opponent to my left calls, our lady in middle position calls, and everybody else folds, and we are 3 ways to a turn. The turn is a great card for us. It's another 7. We go ahead and we hit our full house, and we fire off 2,000. One of our opponents goes on and folds, but the lady in middle position goes on and makes the call, and we are heads up to a river. The river's irrelevant, it's a brick, and I go ahead and fire off another 2,000. But when our opponent goes on and re-raises us to 5,000, I know she has it. I even say it out loud.
Double it up more.
Oh my gosh, she has a fucking 7.
There might be a
Please don't have a 7 there. Even though I asked her nicely not to have the 7, she had the fucking 7. She flips over 7-3. 7-3, guys. that's the fucking hand she flipped over, and this shit wouldn't have happened if I wouldn't have limped in pre-flop. Sorry, Daniel, you were right. I was less right. Fuck poker. For this next hand, I get dealt ace-king offsuit. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm a little bit tilted. I haven't been running that great. And I go ahead and I shove. I'm all in. It's about 7,000 chips, which might seem like a lot, but it's not. That's only about 12 big blinds. Blinds are 300, 600 at this point, and our opponent in the small blind goes ahead and calls us with pocket queens. Of course, right? Anyways, I got 2 overs. It's a race, and well, let's see what happens.
Nice hand, John.
Queen!
Oh, you're dead. You're dead.
Jack 10.
No.
Oh, 10. 10.
Oh! What the fuck? Oh my god.
Just don't pair.
There's still another queen to go.
No, don't or pair the board.
Oh man. Dude, what the hell, man? You know what? I'm not even that mad at this one because my opponent was ahead pre-flop. And that's just the way poker is. It hates everybody who's a good player, so I quit. Well, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. I lost, which means that I didn't win. Just because you lost doesn't mean you played wrong. And just because you won doesn't mean you played right. You can't be like, oh, I won all my coin flips. I'm the best player in the world. No, that's not how it works. You could win and still be a loser. So this loser here didn't win this time, but I hope my bad luck goes ahead and runs out completely because I'll be going to Vegas soon and all my luck and all my good skills are gonna pay off out there. So anyways, that's all I got for you guys. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and don't forget to hit subscribe, and I will see you guys later. We got a battle. We got a battle off.
No.
Let's see your turn. Let's see what you can do. Let's see what you can do.
Right. Fold up. Cock back. Cock back. Cock up.
Let's see. Do it again.
Cock up. There. Shoot. Round.
Do it again. Bam.